My name is Jenny Bennett. I'm a wife, a mother of 4 children, and an emergency room nurse. I want to share my story, not for sympathy and not for people to feel bad for me, but for people to see that this happens to real people and to good parents. In 2013, we moved from Colorado to Texas, and one of the things that we wanted to have with our new home is a pool in our backyard. In Colorado, it was a luxury to have a pool, and here they are quite abundant. So when we found our home in the greater Houston area, we found one with a pool. And it didn't quite have the safety features that we had wanted, but our 2 girls could swim, and we felt like it was safe. It was definitely on our to-do list, but we hadn't gotten around to it. In the end of 2014, I had my son Jackson. After having 2 girls, he was such a blessing. He was so social, the life of the party, and everybody loved him. So smart, early walker, early talker. And we wanted him to be able to enjoy the backyard pool with us. So after he turned 1 year old, we took him to swim lessons. They were parent-child swim lessons that my husband and I took turns taking him. They were fun, and they made him comfortable in the water. And I think that was our goal, because we wanted him to be comfortable in the water when he was swimming with us in the summer. By the time the summer rolled around, he thought the water was fun. He felt safe in the water. He was comfortable with it, but he didn't know how to swim. And we used a puddle jumper flotation device, which gave him an additional false sense of security. One day in July, we had left our home, and something about our home is that my husband and I both work full-time. And we do work opposite each other, so our children don't have to go to daycare, and we could spend as much time with them. But there were times that if we'd be away from the home for an extended period of time, we'd have to let the dogs outside. So we installed a dog door into our backyard. And we knew this was a risk, so we would lock it, and close an additional door in front of it, so our child would be safe and wouldn't get out to the pool. So one evening, we had left the home and we're going to be gone for a couple hours, so I opened the dog door. When we all returned as a family, my husband went to heat up some food, my daughters went upstairs to play, and I wanted 5 minutes to myself before it was time to put everyone to bed. I asked my husband, "Can you watch Jackson?" Because he was 18 months at the time, and he was mischievous, as they all are. And I never left a room without making sure that somebody was watching him, even if I was going to be in the next room. I just went into my room, and I laid on my bed. I think I stared at my phone, and a few minutes had gone by, and I had an uneasy feeling. I felt like something was telling me that I had to go find Jackson. I got up from the bed and opened the door, and I could see my husband sitting on the couch eating his dinner. But Jackson wasn't sitting next to him like I thought he would be. So I asked Adam, "Where's Jackson?" And he said, "He's upstairs with the girls playing." And this calmed me down, because that was something normal. Our oldest was 10 at the time, and she was great with him, and they would play together, and we had a big open game room where it was safe for our toddler-proofed. I went back into the room and sat on the bed. I left the door open this time, and I could hear the girls playing, but I couldn't hear Jackson. Jackson, who was normally giggling and laughing and playing, he was very vocal, and he made his presence known. So I came back out of the room, and I asked again, "Where's Jackson?" My husband called upstairs to the girls, "Girls, is Jackson up there with you?" And in unison, they replied back, "No." And that's when my heart sunk. And I remembered that I forgot to close and lock the dog door. I immediately ran to the back door, went through, and found my son Jackson floating face down on the opposite end of the pool. I jumped in, fully clothed. Jackson was fully clothed. We had no intentions of swimming. I pulled him out, and his skin was still pink and warm, and I felt like it had only been a few minutes. Maybe I caught him in time. And the emergency room nurse in me knew what I needed to do. I needed to start CPR. I started CPR and giving him rescue breaths, and my husband followed close behind because he saw me running in a panic. He called 911, and the paramedics were there very quick. He got a pulse back, and we ended up flying him downtown to a children's hospital. And he was alive for several days on life support, but then declared brain dead. And we made the decision to donate his organs. So I guess what I want people to know is that we weren't swimming, and we felt safe in our home. And we had a misconception about what that meant for safety with having a pool in our backyard. We thought if he couldn't get past the door, that he would be safe. We also thought that these parent-child swimming lessons would set him up to be safe in the water and to help him be comfortable. But it turns out that it probably gave him a false sense of security and confidence in the water when he wasn't able to rescue himself. I don't know if he was reaching for a toy in the pool. I don't know if he jumped in, but chances are he probably jumped in because he loved the water, and we encouraged him to love the water. All I do know is that he was probably scared, and he was probably wondering where I was. This was something that wasn't brought up with our pediatrician. We did talk about keeping chemicals out of reach, stairs on the gates, outlet covers, but it was never brought up about pool safety. I didn't know about survival swim lessons even until my son that I have now was about a year old. These swim lessons would have saved my son Jackson's life. It was only a few minutes that he was unknowingly unsupervised, and he did not have any injuries. He simply just got into the pool. The year we lost Jackson, 107 children drowned in Texas. 18 drowned in Harris County alone. That's enough children to fill a kindergarten classroom. These are children who will never see kindergarten because they had drowned. In 2018, 91 children drowned in Texas. We need to change this statistic. And now I'm urging every parent to make sure to use layers of protection to protect your child and get them enrolled in survival swim lessons. It could save their life.